Good morning, loves. It's about that time. It is about that time. Good morning, Essence. Good morning, Solid. How are you? Good morning, Josh. Good morning, Malaya. Good morning. Good morning, Kay. Good morning. Good morning, Pinky. Good Rising. Akira. Good morning. Good morning, Veronica. Welcome in, guys. My name is Coach Kenya. If you're new, if you've been following us on this journey to face our fears and work on our goals before the new year, we're on day 15, I think. I've lost count. We've been doing it so long, but thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be reviewing our 2 books today. We're talking about our topic and then doing a little bit of motivation, and then we're out of here. So I am located on the West Coast. It's currently 5:54 in the morning. So shout out to my East Coast, my Central, my Pacific time people. Good day to each of you. So let's get into it without further ado. I'm going to cut the music down. Just a little bit about who I am. My name is Coach Kenya. Do you do intermittent fasting? Yes, I do, Mr. Robert. I do intermittent fasting. Nanny. Hi, Nanny. How are you? Good. Hi, Big. How are you? Yes, I do. Hi, Miss Yvonne. Good morning. Hi, Key. How are you? So this morning we're going to be talking about fear and how fear keeps us from being able to reach our goals. And who better to talk to you about that than a person who's lost 479 pounds naturally. I was on my deathbed. I weighed 592 pounds. I was unable to walk, use the bathroom on my own. I could barely speak, form a sentence. I had a pain pump in my hip, so I stayed extremely high all day long. I didn't know if I was coming and going. I pooped, I peed in the bag, I pooped in the bag. I slept in my own body stuff because I could not move. I was so heavy. It took over 10 people to roll me from my left and to my right. And the worst part was I was actually paralyzed from the waist down. That's how I started my journey. Fear. I know fear. I started this journey in a whole bunch of fear in a whole bunch of areas, in a lot of areas in my life. Good morning, guys. And I'm telling you that one of the biggest epiphanies I resolved wasn't a tactic or a tool on how to lose weight. It was dealing with my mindset. You can do everything until you're blue in the face, purple in the back, and yellow in the feet, and you'll still have the same things, issues rummaging around in your mind if you don't address them. And what I've discovered after working with over 16,000 people, what I've discovered is many of them, when they come to me, they are in a dramatic state of unknown fear that they don't even realize they're living in fear of what they can't get, don't have, ain't gonna get, and what's not gonna happen. But they don't realize that until they begin to take a deeper dive into hidden fear. A lot of behaviors that we carry out that are preventing us from reaching our goals are forms of micro fears. They're little things that we are afraid of happening before it ever happens, so that stagnation sticks us into not ever trying it. But the origination of that point is actually fear. And so we've taken on the challenge as my tribe and we've decided that we will be facing our fears for 365 straight days. And we have been showing up every morning to do just that. And I'm inviting you to join me. So if you're on a weight loss and wellness journey, you're working a small business, you want a promotion at work, you want to better yourself, you want to help your relationship, your friendship, your situationship, and you feel like there's something in you that you need to take a deeper dive at, I encourage you to join us every morning and tap into the readings that we'll be doing. We'll be using some powerful people in both industries of motivation, inspiration, codependency, Al-Anon recovery. Myself, as a retired professional counselor and clinical coordinator, I am heavily into mindset and mental health, working 23 years in the industry of severely mentally ill, specializing in addiction, substance abuse, sexual disorders, professional counseling, behavior analysis, and working with children and study pedophilia. I love what I do. I've done it for a long time. I always say sometimes I tried to quit, but then God brought me right back. I did attempt to leave the field, and because I was tired of it, I was burned out. And what happened is I almost died, and I came back. And so here I am in my zone in the thing that I love most. Thank you guys so much for the follows. Thank you for the likes. Welcome in. Good morning, April and Natalie. I'm going to go ahead and hop into it. When I'm reading and doing the sharing, I won't get to greet you. So if you come in the room and I don't greet you, I apologize deeply. Let me know where you're tapping in from so I can give a shout out to where you're tuning in from. If you're tuning in from my boutique page, my TikTok shop, please know that we are going to be reading and I'm going to be quoting some information that comes directly out of the journal that's attached in the orange cart on that live. If you're on TikTok shop, you know how we do it over here. Please feel free to also check out my boutique at irisboutique.com for any of the merch that you see on myself or behind me. Those are available for purchase up to a size 3XL. They do run large in terms of the sweatshirts. Our jackets do run a little bit small because they are denim. Other than that, let's get into it. All right, so we're on day 14 in the 365 of Fear Not. And it says, it is written, and the Lord said unto me, fear him not, for I will deliver him and all his people and his land into thy hand. And thou shalt do unto him as thou didst unto Shalom, king of the Amorites, which dealt with Heshon. Principle. Fears, that's Deuteronomy 3:2, by the way, for anyone that like references the Bible. I need reference to the Bible. Fear comes with many faces, but victory over one aspect can bring victory over others. Principle for today. Fear comes in many faces, but victory over one aspect can bring victory over the others. Okay? Very powerful. Prayer 1. Thanks be to God for giving me continued victory over fear in Jesus' name. Prayer 2. Thanks be to God for enlarging my coast of my victory in Jesus' name. So thanks be to God for enlarging my coast of victory. And thanks be to God for giving me continued victory over fear. So thank you, Lord, for giving me victory over fear. And thank you, Lord, for enlarging my coast of victory, meaning enlarging how much victory occurs in my life once I move past fear, once I recognize the fear, once I am addressing the fear. Bless me, God. Thanks, God, to be the glory that coast of victories that will come from me addressing my fears will be large, will be massive. One of the things I discovered is that when I stopped being afraid of the little things, it made me less afraid of the unknown things. When I stopped being afraid of the little things, it made me be less afraid of the unknown thing. Thank you so much, Queen, for the likes. It made me less afraid of the unknown things, right? Like, for example, I don't want to do that. I'm scared of A, B, and C. But then I would do that one thing. And that one thing would open my mindset to do the next thing. Like, I remember I was scared to go to the gym and do CrossFit, where they toss the tires and toss the ropes and lift, all of that. I was scared. I was frightened because I had never imagined a life that I would live where I was capable of doing something like that. I never imagined a life where I would go to a gym and be with those people doing those things because that was never a mentality that was in a culture. That wasn't something I grew up with. So I was afraid because I didn't understand it. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know you could do it at your own level. I thought I had to look like, act like, be like, eat like, dress like those people in the gym. How many people have gone to the gym and you felt like you had to be like them and you found yourself getting workout clothes that look like theirs and doing the workouts they're doing, and then you looked up and realized that's not even your journey? That wasn't even your journey, right? So sometimes that fear can mask itself into us competing and trying to complete other people. It can mask in us trying to chameleon other people's behavior. That fear will have us walking around in these streets acting like other people that we would never behave like. That fear will have us hanging with people that we know we would never hang with. That fear will have us laid up in relationships with men we know we would never date. It'll have us lowering our standards. We'll get nervous because we're getting older and we haven't quite found the man of our dreams. So what we'll do is we might settle for someone that we might know that we might not want to be with already in advance. But because we're getting nervous, we're becoming fearful that time is running out. The clock is getting limited. So we move on anxiousness. We move on fear. We move on doubt. We move on worry. We move on lack. What if I don't have? What if I can't get? And then we function in that space. And because we're functioning in that space, that leads us to the inability to see outside of that functioning. So then everything becomes, well, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. We can't really give a reason why. We've never tried it. We don't have a really real reason for not wanting to do it, but enough fear will give you enough justification to stay exactly where you are, doing exactly what you're doing, exactly how you're doing. And you'll look up and 15 years will pass by and you'll be living in the same house, driving the same car, working the same job with the same person, doing the same thing, the same way you've always been doing it. And you'll say, what happened to my life? I wish I had done that. I should have did that. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I waited so long. So I encourage you, if you're waiting to do something, get unafraid and do it. If you're waiting for a moment, get unafraid and make that moment. Make that moment. Many of you are waiting for something to happen before you step into your destiny, before you step into your wellness, before you take your health serious. You're waiting for your kids to graduate, the baby to go to daycare, the husband to get a job. But what I want you to know, if you're serious about your health and it's not just about you being thin, then you won't wait to get healthy. You won't let nobody tell you that you need to wait to get healthy, afford to get healthy. Baby, that should be your number one priority. What I'm saying, if you can afford to get healthy, I look like this when I couldn't afford to get healthy. I didn't have no nails done, no hair done, no lace front wigs, no pedicures, no manicures or anything, baby, because I was focused on trying to get healthy. Because a cute bitch is a dead bitch if you don't take care of yourself. I'm just saying. It's only so much admiring that can happen when I'm laid up in that casket. I'm just saying, a cute bitch can be a dead bitch, so you have to be careful about that now. You got to realize where your resources are. Many of us are, thank you so much for the gifts, many of us are concerned about how we will afford to maintain health for us and our children. But really what it is your priorities. Your priorities. I know, I've been there. See, I'm not just speaking on false fact. I'm speaking on fact. My priorities had to change. I had to change my priorities. I had to actually change what I woke up in the morning and did first. Thank you so much, unapologetically me. I had to change what I did first. I stopped waking up and picking up my phone and checking social media, and I started waking up and looking at the Bible, praying, thanking God for opening my eyes. I did those simple. I stopped sleeping in so that I had to get up and rush and run late to everything. I stopped sleeping in. If I was grown enough to stay up the night before, I need to be grown enough to get my butt up on a timely manner so I'm not ripping and running, rushing, leaving stuff, leaving the stove on, not getting the kids' homework done because I'm too busy out in these streets worried about what everybody else is doing and not maintaining my own home. I got to get myself together. I got to get out of this fear. Fear will have you up at night, Netflixing and chilling and not in the bed sleep when you know you got to be up. But in order for you to get your workout in and your meal prep in, that means you got to get up an hour early. But you think Netflixing and chilling is what you got to do because you coming down off from work. But baby, you can only come down off from work so much. You have to come down off from work and come up on you. Many of you get off your jobs and come home and get off your work from home jobs and you get stuck, baby. Unapologetically me, baby. I know you got this. You know what all you gotta do. You need some support. Tap in. I know you got this. I know you got this. Some of us have this thing that happens where when we're at work, we're 100%. And the minute we hit the front door of our home, we suddenly feel a state of gloom and doom. The minute we sit down, take our bra off, plug our cell phone in and sit on that couch and cut on that remote control, it's over. We not walking, we ordering DoorDash, we falling asleep and waking up at 11 o'clock, and all we have the energy to do at that point is to walk in there and get into bed in your bedroom. And before you know it, it's 6 o'clock again, and you back up at it again. And the only person that mattered yesterday in your life was your job, not you, not your family, not your responsibilities, not your goals. Did you just hear what you did? You got home from work. You took off your shoes. You sat on the couch. You cut on the TV. You got your phone. You plugged it in. You screamed at the kids. You got them some food. You barely ate some. You dozed off after you got comatose from all the carbs. You woke up at 11 o'clock, stumbled into your room to go to bed to only wake up and do the exact same thing you did yesterday. And you say, why ain't my life changing? You know what I tell my clients? If you work out of the house, when you come home, you do not sit on that couch. You actually come immediately in the front door and you change your shoes. From whatever shoes you have on to the shoes that's going to allow you to move about that house. Get out of them work clothes immediately. Don't put on your moo-moo. Put on something you can move around in case you need to run back out the house. See, many of us plan to shut ourselves down emotionally after work because we're so drained. But when we get a more emotional regularity, when we get more emotional sobriety, we'll be able to go to that job and be stressed out about that job and leave that job at that job, and you can bring yourself home and do a good job in your home. It is a reflection of what's going on in you. Just because you go outshine Johnny, Bobby, and Jack at that job, if you're not shining nobody in at home, you ain't done nobody no good but them. If you get up 8, 14, 15 hours a day and give them all you got and you get nothing at the end of the day, you got to check yourself. That's not something no one else is going to do for you. Your job is not going to tell you to work less. No. Your job wants you to sacrifice everything you're doing. Every job does. I'm a business owner. It wants me to sacrifice my whole life to make it grow. But I got boundaries now. I got boundaries. Those boundaries came because I was so drained and so tired all the time of working nonstop and never seeing enough. But what was happening was I wasn't taking any breaks. So I always felt like I was always working and never doing nothing else. I wasn't going anywhere. People wouldn't invite me. I wouldn't do anything. I've changed that. I've had to change that because what was happening is I would get off from work and I would just pack my laptop into my room, sit in my room and work. There was never a separation. Now I have a little separation. Now I have a little division. I recognize that if I want to work out for Kenya, Kenya's workout is not her workout. Kenya's journaling with her clients is not the same as when I journal for myself. So I had to begin to separate what I did on at AM hours. The PM hours were for me. But that was something that took me some time to discover. And that's why I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. Okay? Moving along. Let's get into December the 18th in Melody Beadle. Beady, I be calling her Beadle. Her name is Beady. Sorry, Melody. All right. Wow. Today is celebrate holidays, but honor your holy days. Let's see what this one's about. All right. It says, holidays help us remember important national and religious events. Holidays are marked by the calendar. Holy days are something else. Holy days are the days we remember not because they are marked on any calendar, but because they are important spiritual events to us. These are the days our souls remember. A birthday, the day of a loved one, thus the day a loved one left this earth, the anniversary of a relationship, the anniversary of a significant change in our lives, the day we started something, the day we stopped doing something, the day we accomplished something important, a new beginning. Celebrate the holidays by the calendar in whatever way you choose. Some of these may be holy days for you as well. But remember, to honor your own holy days, the ones that are special to you. Celebrate holidays, but honor your holy days. Choose your own rituals. Honor what is sacred to you. I can remember last week in one of the readings we did, I was encouraging people who have lost people or have hurt around the holidays. I was encouraging you to re-tradition your holidays. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Z. Good morning, Isha. I was encouraging you all to actually change your tradition around the holidays. If your holidays is warped with sadness and pain, you can switch that over by finding something that's creative, even cost-free, to begin to change that memory and honor that person. So instead of seeing, oh my God, that person's not here, I'm so sad, I'm so devastated, I can't believe they left me. I know how grief works. Last year, I lost my biological mother, my godmother, in 30 days. No family at all, okay? I don't even got a sister, a cousin, or nothing. No one claims me. I'm cool with that. But it took me some time to get to that, okay? So I can remember one time hearing somebody say, I was talking about orphans, and I was like, oh, wow. That's what happened to adults that have no living parents left. They're like kind of orphans. They don't have anywhere to go. They don't belong anywhere anymore. especially if you don't have any other family. You don't belong anywhere. You don't. There's nobody's no. There's no grandma for your kids. There's no Christmas dinners. Your family, your blood relative isn't going to call you up and tell you to come over because they're gone. And that's heavy, and that's deep. But that's where that healing and not being afraid to open yourself up to receiving others to love you and validate your existence on this earth. Okay, so that's all I have for today. I pray that you guys have a beautiful, absolutely amazing Wellness Wednesday. We celebrate Wellness Wednesdays on our team. So on Wednesdays, we meditate and we do a little workout and we discuss our weekend and how to plan for the weekend. Any questions this morning? No, none, none. All right, guys. Well, I'm Coach Kenya. Thank you so much for tapping in. If you have any questions about any of the products, click the link. Please let me know. If you have questions about weight loss or wellness and you're looking for a coach to work with you, please be sure to click the links and follow me, or do not follow me, but click the links and do and book one of my complimentary free appointments on my website. You can actually book a free appointment with me where we can actually get together and discuss me and my team would be appropriate for you and where you are on your wellness journey. We're not a dieting. We don't restrict. We don't count calories. We don't do any form of restricted or dieting behavior. My girls are not aggressively encouraged to do strenuous muscle damaging workouts or anything of that nature. We don't encourage low calorie counting or anything like that. My girls aren't restricted from any forms of food, but they are given a very strenuous mental health process and journey they have to take in order to be able to continue to pursue their weight loss naturally, because you actually have to develop discipline and coping skills and deal with the reasons why you eat in order to be able to have access to all those different foods and not overeat. After 10 years, they call me to go. I lost my weight 10 years ago and I've kept it off. So when you're ready, I'm ready. Y'all have a blessed day now. Yeah. Have a very, very, very blessed day. Stay up. The world